Hey, you're listening to the Wandering Chronicles podcast. I'm Ashley. No, I'm not. I'm Jamie. And Ashley's not going to be here, unfortunately. She had a family emergency this week. We do have an episode of our normal format that we're working on that will have us in Maumee, Ohio. But that will be coming out next week because Ashley had a family emergency and she's doing a little bit of traveling, and we just didn't want to force that out when she's got other life stuff going on. The good news is that Ashley's actually on her way right now to St. Louis, where I currently am. So I will get to see her, which is fun. We actually haven't gotten to see each other in person for, like 8 years. So that's very exciting. So you've probably already guessed that this is not your typical Wandering Chronicles podcast. This is Jamie-centric, I guess, to steal a phrase from the Morbid podcast ladies. I thought it would just be fun to throw a little something up, let you guys know what's going on, why we don't have our typical episode. I don't want you guys to forget about us. I hope you will come back and hear that episode next week. It will absolutely be up as planned next week. But in the meantime, we're going to do something a little weird, a little fun, called a Staycation episode. It's just a little mini episode. Ashley and I kind of talking about how we're going to handle this if the very thing that's happening now happens, where one of us has a family emergency or something comes up, we're sick, and we can't record or we can't edit like we normally would. So this is your first Staycation episode, and it's led by me. And one thing you should know about me is that I'm an absolute nut job. And I really love fun facts and just little things. I'm the girl you want on your team for trivia, okay? I know a lot about very few non-important things that no one will ever need to know for any legitimate reason in their life. So unfortunately for me, a lot of these little fun facts that I pulled together, I already know. Little backstory, I went to school for psychology, my concentration is in neuroscience, and I have a minor in biology, and I'm a super big nerd when it comes to the human body, so I have some fun medical facts that most people don't know about their human body that they have, unless they're a cyborg, in which case this doesn't apply to you, but maybe you should still listen to it because, I don't know, maybe there's valuable information on how to defeat us as a human race, which I would invite at this point. Okay, so this is going to be real short. We're going to knock these out. I just made a list of 10 fun, weird, some disgusting facts that most people don't know about their own personal human body. So let's kick this off with number 1. Did you know that babies do not have kneecaps? In fact, babies are born with cartilage that will someday become the bony kneecap between the ages of 2 and 6, but at birth, no kneecap. So I don't know how the mob is going to get what they want out of a baby. I guess they have to use different means. Fun medical fact number 2. Every second, your body produces 25 million new cells. That means that every 7 seconds, you will have produced more cells than there are people in the US who voted for Donald Trump in the 2020 election. All right, fun medical fact number 3. A red blood cell can travel the entire network of your body's circulatory system in under 20 seconds. That's pretty goddamn quick. Let's get on to fun fact number 4. The human body is home to a huge number of microorganisms, including more than 1.5 trillion that live on the skin's surface alone. This includes Demodex mites, which are tiny arachnids. Yeah, that's right, I said arachnids that live primarily in your eyelashes and in your eyebrows. These are totally normal. You have them. I actually was just wondering, so a few months ago, a guy on TikTok made fun of my eyebrows. I don't have, I'm a 90s kid. I don't have great eyebrows. We were led astray by the likes of Cindy Crawford and Pamela Anderson. And we don't always have eyebrows that grow back. Okay, so don't fucking hate us. We knew not what we did, so don't judge us. And I don't take so well to particularly men, but anyone in general, making fun of me. It's not my thing. I don't get my feelings hurt. I just own it, whatever it is. And in this particular instance, I shaved my eyebrows off. I have to wonder, what happened to all the little arachnids that lived in my eyebrows? Was it like a natural disaster type situation where an earthquake occurred and they just were homeless? Because now I kind of feel bad. That's weird. I should move on from that. I need to not think so much about that because that's weird. But anyway, totally normal. Very rarely does that become a problem. Very, very rarely. So don't worry about your tiny eyelash arachnids. They're cool. They're cool homies. We like them. Number 5, and this is maybe the grossest one. A lifetime's worth of saliva for one human being can fill up to 500 bathtubs. Ew. Fun fact number 6. Sweat itself is completely odorless. Body odor, instead, is caused by the bacteria who eat your sweat. Those little stinky fuckers are the ones that cause the problems. But it's definitely not your actual sweat. You glisten, honey. You glow. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Fun fact number 7. Did you know that when you blush, your stomach does too? The adrenaline response of blushing also has the same response of bringing blood to your stomach, which is meant to protect us in dangerous situations. So next time something happens, you get a little embarrassed, maybe you see like a cute guy looking at you across the room and you blush, just remember your stomach is blushing too, because there's nothing creepy about that. Number 8, this one's my favorite. Goosebumps, which some areas of the country call chill bumps, are an evolutionary response that we no longer really need. But the goal of goosebumps is to make you look bigger and more intimidating to enemies. So essentially what happens is the tiny muscles that are attached to your hair follicle, which are called erector pili, will contract and it will make the hair stand up. Now, humans don't have a ton of body hair. We've evolved away from that, or we shave them off in a concerted effort to be less hairy. But think of it as, I don't know if you've ever seen a cat encounter a strange cat and then they get all poofy. It's sort of like that. Essentially, we still have the muscles that make us poofy like a cat, but we don't have the hair to make us poofy like a cat. And I think that's a shame, because honestly, I think I'd like humans more if they were poofy like cats. Number 9, human fetuses have a tail. Yep, you heard me. Again, evolution has allowed us to stop having tails. We no longer need them, but they were useful for our ancestors to keep them upright and to give them balance. But now we don't really need a tail. So while we do have tails at about 5 weeks gestation as fetuses, most of the time we lose them by the time we hit about 8 weeks of fetal gestation. That said, people are born with tails sometimes. It's called a vestigial tail, and it doesn't happen often. There are less than 50 instances of humans being born with intact vestigial tails since 1884, but it does happen. It is a thing. And finally, the 10th thing that you probably didn't want to know about your own human body is that your blood travels all through your body, feeding every single part of your body except one. And that is your corneas. I guess two corneas. Your corneas actually get oxygen from the air outside of your open eyeballs. And when your eyes are closed, like when you're sleeping, the rest of your eyeball parts pitch in and make sure that your corneas get enough oxygen to survive until you open your eyes again. And those are a bunch of crazy, weird facts that nobody wanted to know about their own singular human body. The more you know, right? I just wanted to put something out there. I didn't want to just put like a placeholder episode because we do have people listening. We recently crossed over 1,000 downloads, and I'm sure Ashley and I will talk about that more, but holy hell, that's super exciting. But we will be back next week with our episode about Maumee, Ohio. We have already recorded it. We're actually a couple weeks ahead, so we probably won't hear actual talk of this unexpected hiatus for Ashley's family emergency until a few episodes down the road. But I wanted to let you know why we're not here and that we will be coming back, and that we hope you do not forget about us and you enjoyed this little staycation. Everybody needs a rest sometimes, right? I can't wait to see Ashley. I'm gonna hug her neck so hard. She's never met my kitties. Thank you for listening to this little mini-sode. I hope you enjoy your staycation, and we will see you next time. Happy wandering. Bye! Thank you for listening to the Wandering Chronicles podcast with your hosts, Ashley and Jamie. You can follow us on social media at Wandering Chronicles Pod on TikTok, Wandering Chronicles Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and WND Chronicle Pod on Twitter. Or you can email us at wanderingchroniclespodcast@gmail.com. New episodes drop once a week. If you're liking what you're listening to, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple. If you don't like what you're listening to, that's fine. Please tell everyone you know about our podcast. Your bank teller, that person at work that you're pretty sure steals your lunch out of the fridge every day, but you can't prove it, so you don't say anything. The hot dad that walks his dog by your house every day. Your cashier at the grocery store. Your children's friends' parents. I bet they listen to podcasts. Okay, thanks. Bye! Blah, 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 blah. Starting over.
It's just like the blah, 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 blah.